You've used it your whole life. You used it this morning. You'll use it tonight. The gas stove in your kitchen. You turn the knob, you hear the click, the blue flame appears, and you cook. It's been in kitchens for 100 years. It feels about as dangerous as a spoon. But every time that blue flame is burning, it is releasing a gas into the air of your home. A gas that is regulated outdoors because at high enough levels, it damages human lungs. And the level it can reach in a closed kitchen with the windows shut would in some cases be illegal if it were outside on the street. You can't see it, you can't smell it, and it's strongest exactly where you're standing. Tonight we're going to talk about what a gas flame actually puts into your air, why children are hit the hardest, and the small change that removes almost all of the risk. Let's start with the flame itself. A gas flame looks clean. There's no smoke, no soot, no ash. Compared to a wood fire or a coal stove, it seems almost pure. But burning is burning. Anytime you set fire to a fuel, you are running a chemical reaction, and that reaction produces more than just heat. When natural gas burns, it doesn't only make the warmth you want. The flame is hot enough to force the nitrogen and oxygen already in your kitchen air to combine, producing a family of gases called nitrogen oxides. The one that matters most has a name worth remembering: nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide is not a byproduct of dirty gas or a broken stove. It is produced by every gas flame, every time, by design of the chemistry. A brand new, perfectly maintained stove makes it just the same as an old one. And nitrogen dioxide is an irritant gas. Breathe in enough of it, and it inflames the lining of your airways, the exact tissue you rely on to breathe comfortably. So the question isn't whether your stove makes it. It does. The question is how much and where it goes. Picture the air just above your stove while you cook. Every burner that's lit is pouring nitrogen dioxide into that space. It rises with the heat, spreads across your kitchen ceiling, and drifts outward into the rest of your home. In an open, well-ventilated kitchen, it thins out and disperses, not harmless, but diluted. Now close the windows. It's winter, or it's late, or it's just cold outside. The kitchen door is shut to keep the heat in. You've got 2 or 3 burners going and the oven on for a family meal. That same gas now has nowhere to go. It builds. Measurements taken in real homes, with gas stoves running and poor ventilation, have recorded nitrogen dioxide levels indoors that exceed the limits health authorities set for outdoor air. Read that again. The air in the kitchen can become worse than the air beside a busy road, and there's no wind indoors to blow it away. You are standing directly in the rising plume, leaning over the pot, breathing the most concentrated air in the room. And the people who wander in to see what's cooking are breathing it too. Here is the part that changes how you think about this. Children are not just small adults. A child breathes faster than you do, more breaths per minute. So for every hour in that kitchen, they pull more of the air and everything in it into their bodies relative to their size. Their lungs are also still developing. The airways are narrower, the tissue more sensitive, the whole system still under construction. And there is a large body of research linking gas cooking in the home to breathing problems in children. Studies across many countries have found that children living in homes with gas stoves have higher rates of asthma symptoms than children in homes without them. One widely cited analysis estimated that a meaningful share of childhood asthma cases could be connected to gas stove use. Now, this is where honesty matters, because your trust is the whole point of this channel. This does not mean a gas stove will give your child asthma. The relationship is a raised risk across populations, not a certainty for any one home, and researchers still debate the exact size of the effect. Plenty of children grow up in gas stove homes perfectly healthy, but raised risk to a developing child's lungs from something happening in your kitchen every single day is exactly the kind of quiet, invisible danger worth taking seriously, precisely because nobody is worried about it. You might think the danger ends when you turn the knob off. Mostly, it does. The nitrogen dioxide stops being produced. But there's a second, separate problem with gas stoves, and this one happens even when the flame is off. Natural gas is delivered to your stove through pipes and fittings and valves, and research that went into homes and actually measured the air found that many gas stoves leak small amounts of unburned gas continuously, while switched off, doing nothing, just sitting there connected. Unburned natural gas contains other compounds, including some that are known to be harmful over long exposure. The leaks from any single stove are small, but it's happening in the background, all day, every day, in a closed room where you eat and where children play. It's not enough to smell. It's not enough to cause an immediate problem. It's just a small, constant, invisible addition to the air of your home that you never agreed to and never knew about. Let's clear up something that confuses people. Natural gas is naturally odorless. The rotten egg smell you associate with gas is added on purpose, a chemical put in specifically so you can detect a major leak before it becomes an explosion risk. That smell is a safety feature, and if you ever smell it strongly, you should treat it as an emergency. No flames, no switches, open up and get out. But here's the trap. Because you've been taught to fear the smell, you assume that no smell means no problem. And that's the mistake. There's one more gas, and this one is not slow. A gas flame is supposed to burn cleanly and completely. When it does, it produces relatively little carbon monoxide. But when a burner is poorly adjusted, dirty, starved of air, or faulty, when the flame burns orange and lazy instead of tight and blue, it can start producing carbon monoxide in dangerous amounts. Carbon monoxide is the truly acute danger in this whole story. It is completely invisible, completely odorless, and it works by quietly taking the place of oxygen in your blood. At high levels, in a closed room, it can make you confused, then unconscious, then it can kill you. And because it causes drowsiness, people have died in their sleep without ever waking to the problem. This is not a subtle long-term risk like the others. This is the one that can end a life in an evening. And it is the reason for the single most important object in this entire video, a carbon monoxide alarm. A cheap battery device on your wall that sounds when a gas you cannot sense reaches a level that can hurt you. If you cook with gas and don't have one, that is the first thing to change. Everything we've talked about tonight, the nitrogen dioxide from the flame, the small continuous leaks, none of it smells like anything at all. The dangerous exposure is the one you can't detect. You are waiting for an alarm that will never sound, for a threat that arrives in silence. The absence of a smell is not the absence of a problem. The good news is that almost all of this risk comes off the table with a few simple changes. You do not need to rip out your stove. First and biggest, ventilation. Use a range hood that vents to the outside every single time you cook, even for something quick, and especially use the back burners, which sit directly under the hood. If you don't have a vented hood, open a window while you cook. Moving air is the single most effective thing you can do. It takes the invisible cloud and sends it outside instead of into your lungs. Second, a carbon monoxide alarm. Not optional if you cook with gas. It is cheap, it lasts years, and it is the only thing standing between you and the one gas here that kills quickly. Third, watch the flame. A healthy gas flame is crisp and blue. If your burners are burning yellow or orange or leaving soot, the stove is burning badly and needs servicing. That's the carbon monoxide warning sign you can actually see. And fourth, if you're ever replacing a stove anyway, an induction or electric cooktop produces none of this. No flame, no nitrogen dioxide, no leaks, no carbon monoxide. Not a reason to throw out a working stove today, just something to know for when the choice comes up. Your stove will be there tomorrow morning, clicking to life under the kettle, looking as ordinary as it always has. And with a window cracked and an alarm on the wall, it can go on being ordinary. But now you know what's actually rising off that blue flame. You know why the smell you were taught to fear isn't the real danger. And you know why the smallest lungs in your home are the ones most worth protecting from the air in your own kitchen. The most dangerous things in a home are rarely the ones that look dangerous. They're the ones so familiar you stopped seeing them at all. Open a window, then cook whatever you like.